kind of lane they can get in the bottom side of the map to set up for a potential, steal away of the enemy blue buff. We always see that push where the jungler comes over if they have that winning 2v2, one of the big reasons why you pick blue side. As we move into the second game, self-proclaimed Kiana God is not going to be allowed to play it again.
Yeah, I think that's a positive for everyone, including him, because after that, I don't think he would play it again anyway if he were allowed.
He may never play it again.
That might have been the first and the last time we see it here at the LCK for him. But yeah, it is what it is.
There's a lot of focus on Ucal here in this draft. Obviously, Orianna against first pick is a mandatory ban, but also the Cassiopeia has been taken away. Ezreal banned again. No Bard and Vayne will be the final ban here. So some potential for an early top lane pick here for the side of Kiwoom DRX, depending on what they want to grab. The Vi taken away again. So, what's it going to be? In this meta, it's pretty flexible what you grab on one. Every team has a different idea about it. Lee Sin is available. Is Willer willing to pull that one out is the question. And this pick is just so powerful right now, and every jungler is good at it.
I thought he was saying Poppy. Just trying to read his
Maybe he's
there.
worried about the Poppy.
Because the Poppy is available too.
Yeah.
So I think the Lee Sin, definitely a good shout, but maybe we just get an Insta Poppy response.
Or Insta Karma response. That would be very unusual. And I thought it was just a hover, but Karma Skarner. So yesterday we talked about Lee Sin Chicken, which is a game that LCK junglers play where you wait to see if the Skarner's available or not, and then you think you're in a safe spot, you lock it in. They did pick the Lee Sin first right into the Skarner. So we'll see how this pans out here. The next part of this draft could lock up a bottom lane here into this Karma lane that we don't know what it's going to be paired with, but probably something like a Jhin. And they'll get the Engage Nautilus here to be able to try to fight fire with fire. I like the Misfortune Nautilus into this lane because it has a lot of base damage to be able to trade aggressively, even with those Qs flying through. Not the Jhin, but rather the Sivir looks like is going to be deokdam's plan, which I like more with this Skarner. Skarner Jhin, pretty good, but this is a lot of late game scaling power and wave clear in the mid lane, which is good into the Misfortune that often does control that mid lane once you get out of the bottom lane. Even with her Bloodthirster. Not about fighting the champions, but about dealing with the wave clear.
Yeah, and I think the MF is going to be able to deal with that pretty well. I'm worried because I don't know if many Rise Group teams can get to a spot where they can effectively utilize a Sivir comp,
Yeah.
I just don't know. And that's also just a Rise Group team in general. We're talking about DNS here, who is currently at the bottom. And deokdam, who's been struggling, I think, out of all our 80 carries the most.
Well, if you have a Karma Sivir lane, can you lose lane? Is it possible?
It is. Anything is possible.
Are you sure, Valdes?
All of the rules are bent and broken in Fry's group. That's the way it goes.
I find it really interesting that DNS have put so much emphasis on banning away Ucal's Cassiopeia, for example, when I think their best performing player by a country mile is Clozer. And now, Clozer's pool is going to be thinned out a little bit here as well. No Syndra to be picked up in this one. We don't necessarily know what that means just yet. They also banned the Akali. So what's Clozer's plan? As he has a really big role to play in getting this team to that late game where the Sivir is going to shine. We've seen Galio in drafts like this, but Viktor is going to be the pick instead. So double scaling here on the side of the DN SOOPers. Not a whole lot of engage outside of this Skarner.
Yeah, putting Clozer on Viktor with a comp like this, I think, is grounds for a penalty. Clozer, I'm sure he can play a fine Viktor, but he is not, a quote-unquote Viktor player. And as you mentioned, they don't have any engage. They're just going to be sitting back, clearing waves and hoping to scale. And I think a team like Kiwoom DRX can absolutely punish that.
The fact that we can cycle between two completely different roles in Aurora and Silas here for Ucal, and both of them seem incredibly good into what DNS has, means that I think something has gone wrong. And then to top it all off, Jayce goes all the way through the draft, and you got to counter the Jayce with a Yorick. So they have side lane power in this draft here for DNS with the Yorick, assuming nothing goes wrong. There's a Lee on the other side, so things often do. But if you do get to that late game that you said Rise teams struggle to get to, if you do get to that late game that you said DN Soopers did struggle to get to, you got the Viktor, the Sivir, the side lane power of the Yorick, the Skarner for Impale power, counterpick to the Lee Sin. Maybe the dream of lifting the World Championship trophy will persist. Because otherwise, you will not pass go, you will not go to play-ins, you will be in 10th place, and you will be in 10th place for the rest of the year, and your year ends here. So you better be feeling pretty good about that Yorick counterpick right now. You better be feeling pretty good about stabilizing in the mid-game if you are DNS, or it's all over. All right, I'm done with the stakes
well
for now.
said,
I'm done with
well
the stakes
said,
for
well
now.
said.
Yeah.
Yeah. A bit of woke, you could say. Maybe throw that in chat because that's kind of how I felt. Definitely, it's important to reiterate how important this is for
They will also not collect $200.
Yeah, I don't know how many dollars they will collect if this continues. As Team DRX, things looking really good on their side. Tons of very easy hard engage of the Nautilus and boodles of damage. Here we go. Game number 2 starts now.
미니언들이 생성되었습니다.
Alrighty. Game number 2. As I hear the DNS fans once again beginning their extra chance of, you guys can do it. You can win.
They can win, actually.
Yeah.
This draft can actually work. It's not a horrible draft by any means. It is just they have a lot of questions about their ability to play it. And I think this is how the LCK goes, right? Like this, I feel like this is quintessential LCK. Your entire year is on the line. The entire world is watching. You cannot mess it up, no matter what, period. And did you choose what's good for you, or did you choose what's good what you think for the meta? They chose the meta, and now they are choosing to look for a bit of an all-in, a barrier trade in bottom lane. They got that counter pick to the Lee Sin. Let's see how it works for Sharvel, the rookie.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, at least Sharvel doesn't have to be, making crazy plays. He doesn't have to be on something that's very volatile like the Kiana. And Skarner, perhaps a little bit easier to shot call on, where he can just kind of be in the front, press his ult if he has to, look for targets that are out of position, and try to make the play.
He won't be flashing any Qs under turret, try to secure a kill.
No. Well, you could. I mean, we have seen Skarners do crazy things with their rocks, but
he went red smite.
Yeah,
he's ready to brawl.
I think in his case, probably just take it easy after that first game. And that's kind of his job too, because, just kind of play neutralizer. And Deokdam misses the spell shield on the double up there. Just play neutralizer and try to help your lanes get through the laning phase. If you can do that, I mean, then we have a game. If Willer takes over the game for 10 minutes, then we don't.
Sharvel, this time, 100% win rate on Skarner. Hasn't lost a game.
Ooh!
That one left that same sound effect throughout the entire audience. The Korean commentators and probably everyone at home watching just gave that same audible oof.
Yeah. Ucal is playing a champ that I would expect Clozer to play. Clozer's playing a champ that Ucal plays quite a lot. That actually might be a big reason why they picked the Viktor here. Not just because it goes with the comp and stuff, but because Ucal also plays a ton of Viktor. And there were already a lot of mid-bans, right? So you could just take the Viktor away and chop down Ucal's champion pool even more.
Frog has a ward, so this first potential gank for Sharvel will just simply be that, a potential gank that will never be realized. As he just takes it back. Peter.
It's a hook on the Peter, and aiming did get a back in. Picked up a cull or fillable.
This is why you pick Misfortune Nautilus into Karma, because especially Karma Sivir, you just can't damage them in the trade very well. They have the wave advantage though now, and deokdam will get a little bit of damage back in.
They're not in a good spot here. The spell shield is going to be used, and all of a sudden, deokdam is going to get hooked after the fact, goes for the barrier, and with that Q, it looks like enough damage was done to aiming. Flash trades as Peter tries to take out aiming, but it's not enough.
The Flash Mantra Q right into the minions. They were right in his face. Really wanted to get that kill, and if they weren't there, he would have. But they were there, and it did not look graceful, but it was very scary for Kiwoom DRX fans, nonetheless, I would say.
Yeah. Also an awkward timing now on the trade where Andil used his heal very early. He's about to get it back, so they have to back away and respect that if they know the timing, which they do.
Big prio here for Ucal. Willer's going to come over here and try to take some of these chickens away with his E. We'll be able to get those minis, and Ucal's just going to make sure that he's safe to do so, as that wave is already pushed through. Yeah, when you go in as the Nautilus into Sivir Karma, when you have a misfortune does more damage, you just put your shield up and take that damage back as the Nautilus, and then the misfortune gets more damage onto either the Karma or the Sivir, whoever's in range, and you just repeat that trade pattern on a pretty low cooldown with the dredge line. That's kind of what they've been doing. Is Ucal, they have to flash. Oh, nope.
It's just going to ult, and Sharvel, unfortunately, not level 6, so can't force a flash out of Ucal.
Doesn't have TP, though. Like we mentioned, he had prio because he TP'd back first and got that onto Clozer, so now he doesn't have TP, and maybe DNS could get a dragon here.
Look at this Hex flash over the wall, and Peter has no idea that the Lee Sin is over here. Peter, no flash, and he is about to go down as the flash forward here from Willer wants to make sure there's no time to get an extra shield or anything, and first blood goes over to Willer's Lee Sin.
All right, well, bit of a punish there, and just when it looked like maybe DNS had enough of a group up here to try to contest for that dragon with the force of Ucal back to base. Instead, they lose their support, and Ucal's just back in the mid lane. Doesn't have his ultimate, but they don't really need it now to secure the dragon. Bottom lane in complete control of Kiwoom DRX, and Clozer is just going to have to hold the wave. And so every small advantage that DNS had in that moment just washes away. Bit of a Hex Flash shenaniganry coming through, and a setup there onto the Karma.
Yeah.
As Andil is making his presence known in the support matchup today.
Yeah, I mean, last game he was playing Shen, had great play early on, right, to get that kill, and then eventually was just all over the map. He wasn't, like, super flashy, but he hit a couple of big taunts and did his job on the Nautilus once again, making big plays. Ucal not having a very fun time in terms of his health bar, but he's not falling that far behind against a Viktor. I think this is fine. Just trying to farm it out. Yeah. And Kiwoom DRX will still enjoy a very nice lead here early on. I said that Sharvel has to stop Willer from running away with this game. But
so far hasn't stopped him yet, but scaling is on the side of DNS. It's not an insurmountable lead. They're not massively far behind in all of their lanes or anything like that. It's really just the Jayce that generated the lead there.
Yeah.
At least in a small advantage.
Yes.
Yeah, still fine. Still fine. Just like winning Worlds, still a possibility. We're not doomed yet. Mm-hmm. Not even like officially knocked out. As Peter here just doesn't know Andil's here, and the Willer jumps on, and the Willer flashes just to make sure. Maybe he even like thought there was a chance Peter still had flash or something. I guess he just really
or that Sharvel's there, you know. Shield comes up, it gets a little iffy. You just want to get the kill as soon as possible.
So he does secure that. At the cost of his flash, which hasn't obviously come back to bite him or anything like that, since they have a lot of control in this game right now. And that's a backed Karma, so it's a 1v2 here for deokdam, who's just going to have to catch waves under turret. And that's kind of been, unfortunately, for DuDu, deokdam, and Clozer, the name of the game in this early one. But again, this draft is more powerful later than it is now, and Sharvel, once again, going to have a little bit of grub setup here, but this time not as many teammates as in game one. Might just have to get one or two and get out.
Oh, looking for Clozer here. The kick comes through. Clozer has flash, but a flash forward from Ucal trying to burst him down. And it's not quite enough, so Ucal just going to donate his flash over. Sharvel, meanwhile, just got all the grubs.
Yeah, he got all three. Yorick could do them pretty quickly. Had his smite available after getting the first one, so gets all of those locked down, and it's a trade of flashes in the mid lane, but Clozer survives. So small victory for the DN Soopers. Doesn't change the overall game state yet, but a Yorick with 3 grubs, given some additional time, can definitely be an issue later on. This might be something we revisit. Down here, we'll need a revisit for Sharvel to get his bottom laners into turret range so they can farm the minions.
Yeah, Aiming, I think, wanted to stop the back, but he was not able to. You see that deokdam use his barriers, so probably used that to try to avoid the make it rain stopping his back, because we had a fast rotation from Kiwoom DRX trying to dive the bottom lane potentially, but the Sivir got away, so no dive brewing. DNS were also rotating over to try to stop that from happening, but
yeah,
Sivir got his back. He was fine.
Just a small lead generated. Cole cashes out faster here for Aiming than it does for deokdam. We'll get that, plus the role quest completion for a big burst of gold, a little bit faster than Duckers will. Still hasn't been any jungle attention to that Jayce Yorick matchup, and it doesn't look like DuDu is looking like he's going to be turning that one around anytime soon. By the way, we have a pretty big rotation of Andil over here. Peter will see this well. Might have seen it. We'll see it now.
Yeah. Now he's going to see Andil, who is level 6.
Yeah, he's looking for the flash ult here. Okay, he's not going to commit.
Yeah, Andil just says, well, Peter, you locked me down, and the on the hunt was used by deokdam, so you get away this time.
He might just go for it here.
Yeah, he goes for the heal, tries to get in onto deokdam, but the root comes in from Peter as he tried to hook ahead of deokdam to try to just auto him, I guess, if we're giving him the benefit of the doubt. Andil does get away, even with Sharvel making his way up here. The Mantra Q not going to do all too much.
It's not the same kind of Q disaster there for Sharvel on a gank as it was in game 1, but isn't in time as, man, Andil, I don't know. At first I was saying, like, this is looking good, but now I'm starting to worry. Okay, they're going to make a TP player. Ucal with his ult back up.
deokdam is so dead. Like, he is running into the enemy team because he just knows there's no way for him to get away, as the zoning TP helps out, and Willer picks up a second kill.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, just one of those games, Wolf.
Yeah.
One of those series.
To be honest, I had a lot of these, you know, throughout the international split we have, right, at EWC.
Yeah.
A few of them at Kespa Cup, but since we've returned to the LCK, I haven't had too many of these. So I guess I was due. But deokdam, he's so far up here, gets slowed. The TP's behind him. It looks like with how Andil was playing that, they had planned this from moments ago. There's just no way to stop Ucal from TPing over with a Viktor that doesn't have prio. And the Lee Sin is just not being shut down at all by this Skarner pick so far. Just haven't seen Sharvel make an impact anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I expected. I expected Kiwoom DRX to be able to look at the very greedy draft of DNS and say, you know, we can shut that down. We've got Willer on the Lee Sin. We first pick. We don't care about Skarner. We're going to make waves early. And they get blessed by the Hextech Soul Gods here, as they have taken every dragon so far today in the series, and they're looking to take 2 more for the Soul.
Yeah, you have Sharvel coming up here, but I don't know what he can really accomplish. Andil does not have his ult back, actually.
He's really itching to press that Impale button. Like, he has not pressed it yet.
It's going to take a while for Willer to get here, but he is on his way down. Frog also has flash.
It's taking a little bit too long. Frog is just running into deokdam and down the river. He's like going on a little journey. And now the slow into the... Oh, man, the bullet time getting a lot of value here, keeping them around. And now Willer, the Impale only goes on to Andil, and now Willer's getting in there. There's 5 members at DNS here, so they do have to be careful. Frog is kind of disengaged.
Ucal is like, I'm just pushing. He's like, should I get the whole turret or should I back? He is going to back, and as a result, will not get the whole turret, and instead will come up here and try to help defend. Looked like he was going to go try to defend because he was heading towards that Hex Gate, didn't have TP. Frog did have TP, and also didn't die, which is crazy in that last place. So can't just come over and defend that turret himself.
That escape was insane.
Like, he just, he decided he was just going to battle his way out with everybody else coming over, and he was successful.
Yeah.
And the way this pans out is like, Andil can buy space on the right side where there are 3 people. There's only 2 on the left. Frog's got his Ghost Blade, gets the boot back onto deokdam, and now Aiming's here, gets a ton of value out of his ultimate. And it's actually kind of crazy that DNS didn't lose more here on the play. Finally, that Impale goes off. They get the support, and that's it. Meanwhile, Ucal finds himself 300 gold ahead off a little bit of extra time spent in the bottom lane. Nothing crazy lead-wise here for them. And DNS are trying to make plays here. They're trying to overload to stabilize this game state. Sharvel does not have his Impale back right now. Willer wants to put some pressure on with his Aurora control on the bottom side. deokdam also hex skating over, desperately trying to come and catch that mid wave. He will be able to do so. They're just trying to get as much money as they can right now before we start getting into this Hex Tech Soul fight.
Uh-oh. He got Clozer alone in the top lane, and he is going to be able to flash his way to safety. But we do have aiming on the way. But Peter around, and aiming actually outruns the tether.
Yeah, he has the speed up there to get out. So he will be fine. That Shock Blast didn't connect either, so aiming didn't commit his ultimate. I think he probably would have been able to kill the Viktor there if that hit, just to get like one tick of that bullet time. deokdam trying to farm it out, right? Like, they're still trying to farm. We're still trying to scale, as maybe killing Ucal could help, but he doesn't care about this Ghoulie wall.
Yeah, Aurora definitely one of those champs that just kind of laughs at Yorick and does not really care. Can't really kill the Yorick though, so no kill pressure there. The Impale is nice, actually, buffered, but that is onto Elise Sin as Willer just hops away. The taxis onto the flashing Nautilus. So just a trade of a little bit of abilities here. Sharvel
before Herald fight as well, so Andil going down could be huge if they can get him.
Gonna throw an ult into them, and now Peter taking so much damage. Frog gets in and sets up the kill onto Sharvel, but he does trade another one into Sharvel, who has both the kills right now for DNS.
Aiming!
Flashing forward, but the shield from the Q is enough, and now deokdam gets the kill. Look at the health bars on DNS. They all survive, and deokdam lines it up and kills him.
Can Willer get this Herald alone? It looks like he will. The health bars for DNS are just too low. I thought perhaps they'd run over to try to contest that. Looks like he is going to be able to get that, but Kiwoom DRX lose more than half of their gold lead on the play. Those are a little bit too late to deny here. This Herald take, as Willer was actually interested in scrapping with him potentially. deokdam gets a lot of plate money here. And just like that, DNS.
There's a karma here, but the Q. No! He didn't even have the dragon kick. He just hit a Q, and that was the end of deokdam.
Oh, just like that, DNS.
Yeah.
Still kind of back in the game.
The mid lane gap is gone, so that's something.
Top lane gap also gone. Bottom lane gap shrunk a little bit.
Yeah.
Small
mini gap.
So this is a spell shielding deokdam. So they ult him, and he doesn't actually get into the crosshairs of aiming here. And Sharvel goes down. It's a trade. But then, instead of just going to Herald, aiming wants to get cute with it, as he often does. And watch deokdam here. Just flashes the hook forward to get the chase here. And for Andil, it's the second time he's just made himself a sitting duck, so they get two. deokdam looked great until...
Very nice.
Karma should have just been silent about that one. You know?
Good mechanics there from Willer, as you can expect. Now they have the Rift Herald, they can use it for the battle. TP is coming in. Sharvel maybe trying to get aiming, and he will be able to, but the engage already comes in. The kick is there on a Clozer who's already dead, but so is aiming. So a trade of carries already. deokdam on the left is going to be assassinated by two. And now Willer gets in there trying to take out Peter. And it looks like the man advantage here to Kiwoom DRX is enough, but the smite is good for Sharvel. So at least they get that and deny the soul point, but a lot of gold going to the pockets of Kiwoom DRX right now as Frog picks up another one.
So they don't get soul point, but they get the gold lead back. And I think this is not good for DNS, but at least they were able to stop the soul point, which means that if the next fight doesn't look great, they can avoid it. Now this is really huge here for Sharvel because aiming's ultimate is coming up in like 3 seconds at this moment. If he's able to live here and use that, the fight is just doomed from the outset. They still ultimately lose it because there's more threats to kill deokdam on the other side of the fight. DuDu is a Yorick who doesn't really want to be team fighting anyways, and Sharvel gets the secure here, but it's just too many members of Kiwoom DRX. If Willer doesn't hit this Q, maybe he does get out, but he does, so he dies.
Oh, we got a hook on a Peter here. Just trying to ward, but he's alone. Goes out before Sharvel comes out of the base, and that's going to lead to his doom.
So DNS bought themselves a little bit of time in this game, and they're, again, really just going to have to hope the scaling works out in this composition. 3 grubs on a Yorick. If he ever gets some alone time, a lot of money on the map. A lot of ifs, but there are windows, there are conditions that could occur. Also, if Kiwoom DRX overextend like they did on that mid play earlier, stuff like that can really be game opening here for DNS. Pay no attention to Ucal just continuing to dominate in sides of 14 gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, when you said the gold lead was taken back, it really was. I mean, everywhere is very far ahead, except, I guess, the AD carry role, especially because Aiming died very early on in that fight. He wasn't really able to join the snowball. As now DuDu's alone down on the bottom side, has Sharvel coming over to try to help him. Willer not doing a whole lot of damage to the tanky DuDu, but eventually they do take him down, and Willer is continuing on this one. A lot of sustain, at least, on this Lee Sin, who's 4-0-4 with 2 items.
It's a 2-item Sivir, but there's a lot of Kiwoom DRX here. I do not think DNS should continue to contest. I do not think they should continue to contest.
What? No! You don't have to do that to Peter. I know he's not having the best game, but
Top 10 anime betrayals! deokdam and Peter, they were supposed to be the duo to get KTO Worlds trophy. They were supposed to be the one.
Sharvel was backing in the bush. It's just bonus kill after bonus kill. Like, what are we doing here?
I cannot. It's hard. I am a commentator. It is what I have been doing for the last 15 years here in Korea, but sometimes it's really difficult to explain how you feel about a situation, and then you just start yelling at the teams that can't hear you. You go into a chaotic casting state where you're really just trying to tell them what's coming to them, but they can't hear you, and then suddenly deokdam sends Peter away, and
it's like watching a train crash in slow motion, and you can't do anything about it.
So initially here, they want to try to make a play to save DuDu, right? He gets kicked in. His Ghoulie Wall doesn't do him any favors, to be honest, and then Sharvel comes in and drops the Impale. Not sure why, because he doesn't have any friends here. I don't really know what he was hoping to do there, but because now he doesn't have Impale, Kiwoom DRX are not scared about fighting into this choke point because he doesn't have it anymore. And then deokdam sends Peter away. You know?
Trying to send him a message.
It's from that one time Peter said, you know what, I want to play with Poduk this week. Remember that? Into the death chamber with you.
deokdam remembers.
This is like their last chance at getting play-ins. I know it's been like the last chance for quite a few series now, but you can't be taking these fights. It's Kiwoom DRX. You know, they're gonna punish you. The Impale was not great.
Yeah.
I think this is not them playing at the best that they can play at, to be totally honest, but Sharvel,
maybe now the checks feel real, and yeah, somebody's got to check. It's going to be the most tanky member. Sharvel actually does get away.
Technically stop the Baron.
Yeah, TP forced from both the top laners. And Kiwoom DRX are just like, we don't need Baron. It's 21 minutes in the game. Let's just take a fight. And that is what they're looking for. They're going to get the flash out of DuDu. So that's something.
They don't have bullet time anymore. It's a lot of their damage gone. DNS still brave to push up here. Their Impale is up for Sharvel, but he's not here. He's using the Hex Gate to try to come over. They're going to fight for this. They got Prio out of this play. They stopped the Baron. They got Prio for Dragon. And they have Flash Impale for Sharvel. deokdam had, like, everybody's got Flash, but DuDu just lost his. This is their best fight they're going to ever have, 6,000 gold down. They better not mess it up, Valdes.
Uh-oh. We got a very deep TP here. Some ults down on Kiwoom DRX, but a big Aurora ult is still going to do a lot from this far ahead.
Whole year on the line. One big fight on this Dragon.
Yeah, they don't necessarily have to fight this one, but they're going to try as everybody is in the mixer. Clozer disappears without even getting to press any buttons. And now Sharvel here alone. Only 2 members left of DNS. One of them is going to take a Hex Gate, and the other is just going to maybe wait for the Hex Gate. DNS get the Drake and are looking for the Baron.
That's it. That was the fight. That was their chance. They had Prio, but they didn't know about the Ucal TP. They didn't know the angle he was on, and the jump scare out of the bush, I think, has ended the last hopes and dreams of the DN SOOPers here this year in the LCK, which means no chance for a run at Worlds. And that is just the tragedy of it. You had a rough year. You're 2-18. Can't blame one bad series. Got to blame 18 of them. Well, 19, I suppose, now.
I mean, maybe now they just are beginning to feel the stakes. They're like, oh, we actually could make it. And perhaps with just that little bit of extra pressure, is just too much for them. Ucal, no ults and no flash, so he is probably going to be going down. That's a nice shutdown here for deokdam, but I think it's a little bit too late, down to 7,000 gold.
Player cam reaction was pretty comical as well. A pained little stretch there, but he's the one who made the play here on this fight, as they're all trying to get their backs against the wall here to escape the onslaught of Andil with the prio they have, and Ucal just deletes two players basically at the blink of an eye, takes half of deokdam's health bar, then they get control over the, he's like, guys, friends, this looks good, is a literal translation.
Oh, man.
And see if he has anything to say afterwards.
얘들아, 형 정신 차렸다!
says Rose, your big bro locked in!
Yeah.
And he did lock in that moment. He did not lock in the moment right afterwards, I suppose, but it was a good catch by DNS. But just a drop in the bucket of the rest of this game.
Yeah. Ucal's doing his job. He's having a big series. And remember, he played Ryze in the first game where he absolutely took over. Now he's playing Aurora. They're looking for aiming, and they're going to get a nice impale onto him. He's totally isolated, and basically a free kill. Takes a while to take him down, but that is worth for the DN Soopers.
You know, we often say it only takes one fight to come back in a game like this. It does, it's a tough fight to take with this game state, but got bounties up, you get a kill. Ucal's flanking again.
Oh no, he's going to be caught mid-invis, has to drop an ult. At least there's no Skarner ult left. And the chase is difficult, but the flash mantra Q is enough. And a shovel to the face. DNS are stopping this Baron power play big time.
Negative 2,500. Well, that's on the bounty. Picked up there, the shutdown. But that's a big swing of gold. Still 5,000 in the hole, but if they can pull rabbits out of their hats here and there,
What is this?
Aiming was trying to be ready for Andil and Ucal's engage setup there, but instead, because he was just alone, ends up getting caught. Can't blame Aiming too much for that one. Sharvel finds him. This, on the other hand, a little bit more peculiar, but he is Aurora. I suppose thought maybe with weirding and a rocket belt and his ultimate, he'd be able to get away, but it's the flash mantra Q slow that ultimately does him in there after all of that mobility is used.
Also,
okay.
Aiming doesn't have vision in this bush where deokdam was, and he's just like walking back and forth in front of it, and then he walks towards mid lane on a greedy path. Like, you can't do this right now. Like, this is how you lose these games.
His whole team was nearby, but he also could have just played it safe.
Yeah. I mean, it's like deokdam in bottom lane where it's like, oh, Skarner's nearby, I should be fine. Gets TP'd on behind without flash. He's like, oh, I guess I'm just dead. Just play it safe.
Sometimes caution is the #1 thing you need as an AD carry to survive in this brutal league.
Yeah.
And if you don't have it for just a second, whole games can be warped. Saw it from Diablo in that loss yesterday to Rion. If you're not cautious, if you make a few mistakes, it can cost you the whole series. In this case, it cost Kiwoom DRX a sliver of that gold lead, with Ucal dying post-haste right afterwards. But now they are set up for prio for the Hextech Soul again. Perhaps the second time's the charm here for Kiwoom DRX to get this incredible win con for this comp that has so much damage in it, and Poke with the Jayce that sets up slows. It would be insane. Poke's already landing here. Doesn't do that much damage to this tanky front line, but see if they can secure the dragon a little bit early on the prio if we're looking at the timer.
DuDu just trying to make his way into the fight. He flashes over to the team and trades that for Ucal's TP. So actually not half bad. I mean, Yorick without flash isn't a gigantic deal. They're going to start up this dragon again. They're on Hextech Soul Point. So if Kiwoom DRX get this, it's going to be pretty massive. Andil looking to go to the top side of the fight, leaving Willer alone in the pit. And the kick comes in onto Sharvel, but that's a very tanky Skarner who's alone in the pit, and he gets the smite again! He's not going to miss it, but a fight here. They get Peter, but a lot of damage is traded back. Big impale, but it's only Sharvel in the pit. Well, at least they didn't give over the Hextech Soul.
The game continues. Frog with a really big execute there of deokdam in that fight bursts him down because it looked like maybe with the Impale still available for Sharvel, that maybe there could have been some shenanigans that could have ensued if he had been able to get closer to deokdam, protect him there, and set up an Impale while deokdam's alive. So this kick is quite bizarre onto Sharvel here from Willer. Just wants to buy space, and I think it was hoping he was going to hit deokdam with it, but doesn't ultimately do so. While they're focusing down Sharvel, look at this play from Frog onto deokdam. Blows him up with Ucal. They go in together, and that's the AD carry down, and Clozer alone can't get the job done, even with the Impale. Even as he is starting to scale up in this one, they needed deokdam's damage too, but both soul laners just delete everyone's favorite duck. Or at least favorite deck. I mean, some people on the product trade.
I'm personally a fan of the rubber duck from Bert and Ernie.
Well, that's because you're Bert.
Yeah, I am.
We already
Bert.
established that on the Pog stage.
Pog staters know. They know I'm Bert.
Generally, Ernie was more of a fan of the duck,
yeah,
from how I remember it, but I guess you're changing.
Oh, yeah,
things are different in 2026.
Yeah, I don't actually, I think Bert from that show wasn't a huge fan.
Bert liked paper clips or something like that, right?
Not rubber ducks, that's true. All right, Sharvel, he's in the front line, and he's giga tanky now as the game is really trailing along here, 30 minutes in. But deokdam did take a bunch of damage himself too, so they do have to back away for now.
Ucal is constantly threatening these off angles, and now they're just going to look for a Baron with no vision here for DNS. I mean, minus that trinket for just a moment. It's really tough. They're trying to pull a bit of an HLE here and just push mid. Not going to happen, though. They need to contest this Baron. Sharvel has Flash and Impale. He needs to find the right targets.
He's taking a lot of damage already. The flash hook comes in, and he does bumper it with a kick onto Clozer, gets some golden, and now they're looking for deokdam, who's so isolated, and all of his teammates are just running away. The Nautilus ultimate, huge value, sets up aiming as well as they pick up 3 kills, make it 4 actually, and they will push to end.
And with this, Kiwoom DRX will rip the stakes out of DNS. There are none left. In an 0-2 loss, they will be eliminated from play-ins. They will be stuck and locked in 10th place. And the year of DNS ends here. Kiwoom DRX will take their 7th win of the season and move up to 7-14 in the Rise group.
Yeah, big win for them on the 2-0. Kiwoom DRX looking very strong with the addition of aiming. And, I mean, to be honest today, DNS didn't put up the biggest fight, but they won their last series as well. Now getting 2 in a row. And Willer fans eating good tonight. He gets the Lee Sin. First pick in the draft.